I have now the final results of the elections that was held in the Federation on Friday, the 5th of June. I have already briefed you on the previous results, and I continue now with the results for constituency 8, St. Christopher 8, where the candidates are Dr. Terence Drew of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party and Mr. Eugene Hamilton of the People's Action Movement. In polling division 5B, where 326 persons were registered, that's at the St. Peter's Primary School, persons whose last name begin with D to those whose last name begin with G, 142 persons cast their vote in favor of Dr. Terence Drew of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, and 71 cast their votes in favor of Mr. Eugene Hamilton of the People's Action Movement. There was one spoilt ballot, no rejected ballot, for a total of 213 votes cast. In polling division 5C, again at the St. Peter's Primary School, 402 persons were registered, those whose last name began with H to those whose last name began with L. 175 persons, that's 175, voted in favor of Dr. Terence Drew of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, and 80 voted in favor of Mr. Eugene Hamilton of the People's Action Movement. There were no spoiled ballots, no rejected ballots. 255 votes were cast. Polling station 5D, again, St. Peter's Primary School, 373 voters assigned, those whose last names began with M to those whose last names began with Q. 178, that's 178, cast their votes in favor of Dr. Terence Drew of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. 73 cast their votes in favor of Mr. Eugene Hamilton of the People's Action Movement. There was no spoilt ballot. There was one rejected ballot. 252 persons cast their vote. In polling station 5E, St. Peter's Primary School, 403 persons were allotted, those whose surnames began with R to those whose surnames began with Y. Dr. Terence Drew of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party received 167, that's 167 votes. Mr. Eugene Hamilton of the People's Action Movement received 107, 107. There was no spoiled ballot and there was one rejected ballot for a total of 275. And for polling division 6, Keys Community Center, where 417 voters were assigned, 148 persons cast their votes in favor of Dr. Terence Drew of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, and 132 cast their votes in favor of Eugene Hamilton of the People's Action Movement. Again, there was no spoiled ballot, and there was one rejected ballot for a total of 281. Therefore, of the 6,948 voters assigned to constituency of St. Christopher 8, 2,208 persons cast their votes in favor of Dr. Terence Drew, that's 2208, for Dr. Terence Drew of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, and 2,232 cast their votes in favor of Mr. Eugene Hamilton of the People's Action Movement, that's 2,232. There were 5 spoiled ballots and 10 rejected ballots, for a total of 4,450 votes cast. The member, therefore, elected for the constituency of St. Christopher 8 is Mr. Eugene Hamilton of the People's Action Movement. I want to recap for you now the composition of the Federal Parliament arising out of the elections, as I mentioned before, on the 5th of June. Constituency 1, Dr. Jeffrey Hanley of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party was returned. Constituency 2, Mr. Jonel Powell of the People's Action Movement was returned. Constituency 3, Mrs. Akila Byron Nisbet of the People's Labour Party was returned. Constituency number 4, Lindsay Grant of People's Action Movement was the winner. Constituency 5, Sean Richards of the People's Action Movement was returned. Constituency 6, Dr. Denzel Douglas of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party was returned. Constituency 7, Dr. Timothy Harris of the People's Labour Party was returned. Constituency 8, Mr. Eugene Hamilton of the People's Action Movement was returned. Constituency of Nevis 9, Mr. Mark Brantley of the Concerned Citizens Movement was declared the winner. Constituency 10, Nevis 10, Mr. Eric Evelyn of the Concerned Citizens Movement was again declared the winner. And Constituency 11, Mr. Alexis Jeffers of the Concerned Citizens Movement was returned. These are the final results of the elections held on the Friday, the 5th of June, 2020.